Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me with this precious time I have and precious time you guys have. I'm making this video to reunite myself with my children and try to help some other families out there that were victims to CPS stuff that's been going on. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff on. There's a ton of stuff that I posted on Facebook. It's unbelievable. It's so heartbreaking. Yeah, I am one of those people that lost their children, my twins, Victoria and Lindsay, and I got in trouble for attempted manufacture of marijuana, which was a misdemeanor. They said, well, if you go into drug court, you can get the whole thing off your record. So I said, okay. Me not knowing what drug court is. But okay. That they said you need to plead to a felony to get into drug court. So I thought it was like probation or something. So I did that, and it was a big mistake. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I did in my life. My attorney really didn't know what he was doing. One of probably 15 to 20 lawyers I've went through, trying to get longer visits and overnight visits, and just never happened. But let me back up where I was. Drug court, yeah. Ended up wearing my grandpa's cologne. Put too much on because the scent was starting to go away, spading. So I put too much of that on, and I ended up going to jail for drinking alcohol, which I did not. Which I took a lie detector test to prove that I did not drink the alcohol or any. I don't even drink alcohol. I like caffeine. Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, went through all that. The visits. There's the visitation worker's car parked right behind my Camaro. In this picture, her Impala, Michaela Pulaski or something like that. I know her first name's Michaela, and I had her for over a year for visits, and we didn't get along at times, and times we did. She made some mistakes. I made a couple mistakes. I don't think my mistakes were as bad as hers. She let my daughter run across the street at the zoo, and cars drive by. Well, I found out the next day, which I worked at the zoo, so I knew information about the zoo. A kid got hit by a car in the same parking lot. So that was a mistake on her, but that was an accident, so didn't really make a big deal out of that. But she wanted to make a big deal about like the swimming pool, and I had to go use the restroom. And I asked her if she could watch my babies for a second while I go and use the restroom. At the time, this pool that you see was on my porch. It's an enclosed porch, and there was barely any water in there. Barely covered their feet, the water. Barely, about half as much as what you can barely see in this picture. Or not even that. Just a tiny bit of water was in the pool. And she said, well, if I wasn't here, would you still go to the bathroom, this and that? She just made a big deal out of it. She's like, a child could drown in a glass of water, and I already know this stuff, the bathroom is right there. I could hear my children as I go to the bathroom. The bathroom's around the corner. It's just, my house isn't that big at the time. So, yeah, she just kind of nitpick, and she'd kind of walk away. She would get close to my children. She was closer to my children than I was, because she would see them more often, because she would go pick them up and drop them off. She was getting too close to my children, and she was turning them against me, I think. I remember one time we were having a visit, and we were playing out front, and she had walked towards the back of her car, and one of my daughters followed her over there, and she kind of said something like, "Well, you're supposed to be watching your daughter," and I said, "Well, she's just going to see what you're doing." And it's like she was just looking for stuff. And I had another caseworker. She got upset because I was filming my daughter's food that I was giving her, and I gave her a ton of food, whatever she wanted. I just spoiled my children. That's what I did, and I gave them toy shopping for them. Um, I don't think they like that, because I would buy them new clothes and new shoes, and they would come back over with the old clothes and old shoes and dirty, black eyes and fat lips, shoes on the wrong foot, dirt between their fingers, and they were so neglected in foster care. I mean, it's so sad. My babies are soldiers. I mean, Victoria and Lindsay, I love them so much, and Daddy made a mistake with the marijuana equipment that was in the basement. Wasn't hooked up, wasn't growing nothing. That's what they found. Ex-wife pulled a knife on me. I called the police. She wanted me to buy her something, and I wouldn't. And that's what happened. And so that's why they got taken, because of that. And anyway, there was a couple of attorneys I should have kept, I think, but thanks to Brian Minch, he kind of messed things up. Yeah, we all know who he is. Anyhow, my arm's getting tired. I gotta put the phone down. Thanks for listening, you guys. Thanks for watching. Please see My Stolen Angels in Omaha, Nebraska on YouTube. It's still an ongoing emergency, and I cry daily. I mean, I could probably fill that pool with tears right there. Anyhow, thanks you guys. God bless.